If you've ever dreamed about renting or purchasing property in Lyon, France, well, today you're in luck because that's exactly what we're going to talk about. If you're new to the channel, I'd love for you to subscribe. All you got to do is click on that little red button below with that little bell next to it to be sure to be notified whenever a new episode is posted. And if you're enjoying these videos, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up. That way it tells YouTube to show it to other like-minded people. So today my guest is friend and real estate agent Luc Grange. He is based in Lyon, France. He has been doing real estate for many, many years now. And so we discussed the neighborhoods that you might want to consider if you want to move to Lyon, all the nitty gritty that you need to know about renting or purchasing property so that you can make that transaction as stress-free as possible. So check it out. Luc, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Risa. Thank you for contacting me.
I am so excited to talk to you. I haven't seen you in years, but Lyon remains one of my favorite places in France. And we get to talk real estate in Lyon today, so I'm really excited about that. So before we kind of get into the real estate part, I'd love people to know a little bit more about you because you are incredible. You've started up your own business and everything, but how did you actually start getting into real estate to begin with?
Well, I started working in real estate 11 years ago when I was trying to change my career path after working for many years in the export sales business. I was a bit fed up with traveling intensively, and I wanted to go for a new challenge. So I thought, what am I attracted about? What do I like the most? And I had like ancestors who were developers who built many buildings here in France, and I was really happy to dig into this direction. And I started doing sales first, and then also rentals. And now I'm also working into a development project since now 11 years. Yeah.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about Lyon, actually. It's very famous for its restaurants, for its gastronomy, right? For its food. So can you tell me a little bit about where it's located? You were actually born and raised in Lyon, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Lyon is used to be the capital of the country during the Roman era. So it has kept some sort of a major role in the country. It's very strong for the economy. Then it became very strong for food. It's true that a lot of French famous chefs are born, raised, or trained here in Lyon, and has been this city has been very famous for that. But it's also famous for this quality of living at large because you have good business, you have good food, you have a nice environment. You're very close to the Alps, you're very close to the south of France, so it's a good place to live in France after Paris.
I love Lyon. I mean, seriously, but the food that we had there was just like out of this world. So tell me a little bit about how's the real estate market going there these days?
Well, the real estate market has been crazy busy the last 6 years, and the COVID has been slowing down the whole process because the sales were going very fast. We were not dynamic; we were super dynamic. So the prices were going up and up. Some area went to 5,000 square meters. Sorry, 5,000 euros per square meter, up to 7 or 8 thousand euros per square meter in like 2 years and a half. So the market went up very fast. Then the COVID really stopped completely this strong trend. And actually now we see that the market is a much slower market. The investors are like being much more wise. The 2 years ago was the first time for me to see someone calling me saying, "I've been looking for this place since months. I'm buying it. I'm on my way. I'm buying it." This
Oh
never
my
happened in the
God.
past. People just they come and visit 2 times, 3 times. We had this completely hectic market, and now it's a completely different one. The COVID has kept a very strong demand for houses because people are like rushing for any property that has an exterior, a balcony, a terrace, a deck, or garden, big or small. So the houses, the market is quite normal and still quite high. But for the apartments, where are the buyers? The thing are, yeah, it's changing a lot and slowing down. Plus, this year was a presidential election in France. So every year of presidential election, from March till June, we don't really know who's been elected. We don't really know how it's going to be composed our national assembly. So this is always slowing down the market, but I think the market is going to be still quite quiet because the interest rates are going up and the inflation as well.
So it's very similar to the US then. I think we just kind of all follow each other, right?
Exactly.
Here now you also see the real estate market slowing down a little bit because interest rates have gone up and inflation is like out of the sky. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about then the demand. So we had been talking about how there are a good number of Americans or North Americans who live in the Lyon area, if not Lyon, as well as other Europeans. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Lyon, like I was telling you, it's strong for economy and business at large. All kind of businesses have um, companies and headquarters because it's also very central for European headquarters. But American companies have around 300 and 350 offices or European headquarters in the Lyon and the Lyon region. So it's a city that is very attractive for Americans, and there is actually an American consulate here in Lyon. And also for Europeans at large, we have major European or international companies who have offices or headquarters. So it is an international city.
Wow. Do you find people retiring in Lyon because of its conveniences, its location?
I see people retiring, but it's hard for me to say that you have more Americans or Germans retiring in Lyon. I can tell you that some people, French or foreigners, are retiring in Lyon because of this central location. Here you can take your car and go, and in 1 hour and 15 minutes you are in Geneva. In 1 hour and a half you are on the first ski destinations of the Alps. 2 hours and a half, you are in the south. But these are by car. But if you take the train, in an hour and a half, you're in Marseille, or an hour and 50 minutes, you're in Paris. So you see, it's very easy to go everywhere. We have an airport that is not too small, not too big, and with all the low cost carrier, you can go anywhere in Europe with a 50 or 70 euros flights. You can go to any major destination of Europe. So it is attracting people to retire, but I think it's quite the beginning of this trend because it's been a city that is so far was not as well known as it should be, to my mind.
Yeah, so there's like it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, right? Because Lyon is so special, but if it becomes really well known, then you kind of destroy the charm of it when all the foreigners come in. Um, but yeah. So tell me a little bit actually about real estate. So if someone is looking to say, let's say, rent a two-bedroom apartment in Lyon, what is like the price range? What kind of deposit do they have to give if you're a foreigner, right? So are there things that they have to do extra if you are a foreigner?
If you want to rent a place, what people will check is either you are reliable or not. In France, when you are renting to someone who stops to pay you, it's very hard to have them leave the place compared to the US. Very hard, and it takes months, not to say years. So people are very extremely cautious, and we are asking a bunch of paper that it's legal to ask. So they will ask any French his last 3 months of salary paper. It will ask for to have at least a salary that covers 3 times the rent. I will ask the last taxes they pay and where they were located, and if they were already renting, they want to have the paper of the former owner. I mean, we have a bunch of paper that we ask. Coming from abroad, you can't provide all those paper. You didn't rent any place in Lyon before. You are not even in a French bank. You're not having your salary here paid in France or your taxes paid in France. So basically, what I would really recommend to anyone coming from abroad is to have a bank account in an international bank. Some very well-known bank have offices all over the country in France, so it makes it much easier because they know how it works. Um, the owner of a place might ask for then a couple of months, um, a bank guarantee for a couple of months of rent. So the bank will provide this paper saying that the renter can actually provide the rent for a few months. No problem with that. This is a key thing. Yes, and if for example a couple of Americans are moving to Lyon or to France anywhere, they might ask. Maybe they can negotiate this with their company if they are moving with a company to ask for a relocation company that would be paid by the company hiring them here in France, because it helps a lot. They will probably ask to a house hunter to help them to find a place, to help them to translate and show them a few places in a short period of time. They will also help them with all the paper, and they will also um, help to make the owner feel comfortable about this couple, because people are very, you have to keep this in mind that people are very scared about not being paid, because again the it's hard to kick people out of the places here.
Interesting. Interesting. So, okay, so it's good to have a big chunk of cash, make sure that it's in an international bank. And
Exactly.
I assume that if you have French friends or references, that's also very good to have.
Exactly.
Um,
And I did not answer to your question about the rent for a 2 bedrooms apartment. You said, right?
yeah, so like a two bedroom.
2 bedrooms will be between 1,000 euros and 1,500 euros per month.
Oh, so that's very reasonable. So that's
Yeah.
almost, I don't even know what the exchange rate is right now, but I think it's almost 1 to 1.
Almost 1 to 1. So basically, yeah, it's will be started at 1,000 euros.
Yeah, so it's almost like $1,000,
Exactly.
$1,500, that sort of
Exactly.
thing for two
The,
bedroom.
the
That's
nice,
great.
the nicest place and the nicest locations will be more around the 1,500. But this is the price range for Lyon.
That's great. And so, if we move to purchasing, so if someone wants to purchase a two bedroom, you mainly have condos there or co-ops. I don't know if you
No,
have
we don't
co-ops
have
in.
condo co-ops system. We have it's we don't have any system in terms of condo co-ops. You buy an apartment. You are a co-owner of the building, so you pay the uh, the charges, the expenses linked to the maintenance of the building, which are quite low compared to the U.S. market because we don't have doormen. Donc so you don't need to pay that. We have less and less people who live in the building, what we call concierge. We used to have a lot of concierge in buildings, but we have less and less concierge in French buildings because it costs a lot. So in the last decades, people have been selling the little apartments of the concierge to get some money back and to be able to restore the roof or to renovate the building. So don't expect to have that much services in the building because this is not the way the French market is. You will pay for the taxes, the maintenance of the buildings, the insurance of the building, and the property management company.
Do you have a sense of what the range is in Lyon for? So we call those like HOA fees, right? The homeowner association fees. Um, do you have a range of how much
Let's
people
keep the
normally pay?
the two-bedroom apartments, you will pay around 100 and 150 euros per month. It depends really
Thousand.
on what
What?
it. Sorry.
Oh, your HOA fees are 100 to 150 euros a month.
Exactly.
Oh,
It
very
might be
low.
less. It might be. It depends. Um, each building is a bit different. Some buildings will include the water into those 150 euros. Some of them will not. It depends on how it's organized in the building. So you will uh, go and visit places, properties, and you will ask, okay, the cost of this building includes what? Does it include gas, or does it include electricity, or does it include water? So you have to get this into details. Quite often, you have to pay your water and your electricity on your own, and then add the um, the property taxes, the property sorry charges.
And then, so what about your property taxes? So usually that is included or not included?
You'll pay what we call a taxe foncière. It's foncière means the ground, the soil. Tax, so it's a governmental tax that you will have to pay. For our two bedrooms apartments, depending on where it's located, you will have to pay between 500 euros and 1,000, and it depends really on the location. A top location will be around 1,000 euros for two bedrooms apartments. And we used to have another tax called taxe d'habitation, but depending on your income, it's slowly it's been slowly disappearing. But you have to also be paid in France and work in France.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
So you're talking about the 1,000 euros, 500 to 1,000 euros per month for your taxes, not
No,
per
no, no.
year.
I'm sorry. Yes, it's an annual tax. One.
Oh, so per year.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So it's very affordable.
Yeah, it is very affordable. Yeah.
And so if you're looking at a two bedroom, say two bath, I don't know, are two baths common in an apartment? Because I know a lot of these buildings are very old, right?
Exactly. For
Um,
a two-bedroom apartment, you might have one bathroom, maybe one bathroom and
well, I hope you have one bathroom.
sorry, sorry.
You said you might have one bathroom,
No,
but I
no,
hope there's at least
yeah, but I was about to say and a shower. you,
okay.
might, you won't have for two bedrooms apartment. It's quite rare, I would say, to have two bathrooms. So you might have one bathroom with a bathtub and a shower, or just one bathroom and yeah, and one or two toilets. But most of the time it's one toilet, one bathroom for two bedrooms apartments. Would
And what can someone budget, or see in terms of price range
Yeah,
for a two bedroom, one bath?
for ninth two bedrooms apartments, you will have to afford between 350,000 euros to up to 450,000 euros, depending really on which arrondissement, which district of the city. But this is the price range. Of course, you can go up to 500,000 euros, but it's really for a top and this would be really the maximum, I would say, the maximum reasonable price that you should spend for a two bedrooms apartment.
Hi Risa, so here I am on the two-level penthouse apartment in Lyon. You can actually arrive directly in the apartment with this elevator, which is quite popular in the US, but not as much in France. And here you have a 1 meter, 100 meter, 45 square meters on two levels with a 90 square meters to rooftop. That is actually a very large rooftop with a jacuzzi being installed right now. Big, lots of space with a nice green view on the hill of Lyon. Here you have Basilica of Lyon, which is a very famous basilica, with what we call our our little Eiffel Tower here on the top of Fourvière Hill. Right behind this building, you have the Sun River, So yeah, this is a big rooftop apartment, nice penthouse on 2 levels with 5 bedrooms, and it's 100% customized by the client. They wanted to have some specific floors, some specific bathroom and everything, and this is being done right now. It's not finished, but this is, for example, one of the projects I'm working on.
And what would you say are the more popular neighborhoods in Lyon for foreigners? Or I guess maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. Are there like, different neighborhoods that are just more foreign occupied versus, or is it pretty much based on more economics, let's say?
It depends if you're a family. I would say if you're a family moving to Lyon, you might be very interested in a region called Les Monts d'Or, which is on the west side of Lyon, on hills. So you're quite up above the city, which is a good thing to breathe a good fresh air. You have lots of forest, and it's very green. It's a very green area, so you can take your bike and leave your house and go for a nice time in the nature. If you go into the city center, the ninth arrondissement, the ninth district we have here in Lyon, they are all quite popular because the city center is not too big, so uh, all the people are concentrated on these ninth districts. If you want to go and be close to the park, Parc de la Tête d'Or, which is a very large park, if you want to be close to this area, which is a sixth district, because you are like a daily jogger or runner. This is a nice way to be in the city and close to the park. Um, you have also what we call a presqu'île. In Lyon we have 2 rivers. We have the Saône and the Rhône. So if you want to be really, really downtown, you should be looking in the presqu'île. Presqu'île means almost an island, so it's like Manhattan with East and Hudson River. We have this also in Lyon. So if you want to be downtown, you should be looking at the Presqu'île. Um, the sixth district is very nice because it's on the banks banks of the Rhone River. It really depends on what you like. We have also the Old Town on the fifth district. There, it's Renaissance style. It's very hard to approach your building with a car. It's very touristy, so people will love that. Some people will really hate that. It really depends. And the best way is to come here 1 and 2 days and to walk in the city center. That is again not too big, but so you can really have a good look at the city in like 2 days walk, and then pick the best area. But for family, I would really recommend to be a bit outside of the city.
That's great. So if someone is interested in purchasing, a foreigner, what kind of paperwork or what kind of documentation do they need to prepare? Is it usually all cash for foreigners, I'm assuming? Or maybe not.
No, no,
'Cause, I know that financing can be very
no,
expensive.
it really depends on you can really have a loan like the French. You don't have to pay cash. Um, Again, you will have to be dealing with a bank that is also well known in France. So either you transfer some money to a French bank, or either you work with an international bank that has offices in France. This will facilitate everything. Plus, the French system will have a check on where the money comes from to be sure that the money is a good money. So we check out this, and this is we have here, the notary system. So to buy a place, a property, you will have to go to the notary, that is actually the person in charge of perceiving the taxes for the state, but also to do these kind of checks regarding where the money comes from. So, but basically, going back to your question, you don't need to pay everything cash. You can ask for a loan here in France, and I can also recommend to your contacts banks that are happy to work with foreigners. But no, foreigners buy a lot in France, and we are a big market for foreign buyers. A lot of British people have properties here in France. A lot of Italians, Germans, Dutch. Um, since I don't know since how many centuries, but people are buying properties here in France. People from all around the world, so no problem with that.
Oh, great. So they don't need any sort of like they're the other Europeans, you're part of the EU, so it might be easier for them. But um, being an American, you can just go and purchase and apply for a mortgage. And what's the down payments like?
The down payment, you mean the we put normally we put 5% that we call guarantee deposits. 5% has to be put on the table when we write and sign what we call the compromis de vente, so the first part of the agreements that we sign with the notary. You have to be putting 5% on the table, and then you have a few weeks to ask the bank your loan and to obtain this loan at the bank. If you don't manage to obtain this loan, then you can buy, and then the seller is taking back his property and putting it back on sale. You can withdraw from buying if you manage to show a legal paper saying that the bank did not give you the loan for this property. So then you get your 5% back, and everybody is going again his own way. So it's quite not very risky for the buyer, but most of the time you have to, coming from abroad, you have to prove that you will be working in France or working from France, but with some money and a work paying you every month. So you will be lacking of banking tracking record at the beginning maybe. So that's why it makes it easier and faster to arrive with some international bank following you in France. This makes it much easier. But again, with good justification or good work contracts explaining what you will do in France or what you would do from France, because a lot of people are coming here and they work from their home. They work with their computers, and so they don't really need actually to have a French contract. So you really have to explain to be good at this part to be okay with the loan.
That is so awesome. Um, so as we kind of wrap this up, is there any kind of final advice that you have for foreigners who are looking to move to Lyon? Things that they should kind of keep in mind as they start their research process?
Yeah, actually, if you're not so much in a hurry to move to Lyon or to anywhere in France, you know that in 2 years or in 1 year and a half you will be moving. I would really recommend to first come for a weekend or a week to go around and have the best to choose the best area you want to live in. If you're buying it off the map to a developer, you'll pay 2% taxes to the state. And in comparison, if you buy a property that already exists, you'll pay between 7 to 8% taxes to the state.
Oh, well,
Exactly.
upon
This is what we
closing.
call the notary costs. So there's a huge difference between buying off the map or buying a property that you visit. So if you come a bit in advance, or if you're not really in a hurry to buy your property, you can come here, visit some projects that are about to be built or being built at the time being, and you can really save a decent amount of money. You can customize your apartments almost at will. You can be buying a rooftop penthouse that has a beautiful view in Lyon for like 1 million euros, and maybe this place would cost between 2 and 3 millions in a different city of Europe. So this is a big thing to know, is that the projects of developers in Lyon are like being built everywhere because it's an attractive city, and this would be like a big recommendation I would do to anyone coming.
That is awesome. That's really special, actually. So if people want to get in contact with you, Luc, how do they reach you? Where do they find you?
Where I'm based in Lyon, so it's very easy to to find me. I have a website. It's called Eurigin.com. So it's Yourigin, Eurigin.com. There is my phone number on it. I don't know if you want me to give my phone number as well, but it's everything is on it. You have my email. It's Luc Grange at Eurigin.com. If not, they can contact you, and I'm sure we'll be in touch again together, and we can do it this way also.